Hey guys, I have something I need to get off my chest. It's been bothering me for a long time and I want to do something about it. In this community, Broodwar creators are jealous with their content, deeply suspicious, and highly competitive with each other. It's created the situation where the casting community is akin to a walled garden with limited space for new creators. It's a famine mentality that has permeated down from the very top. Look, the argument I want to make today is that StarCraft commentators and creators are not really in competition with each other. We're a community in a constant struggle for attention with everything else on the platform. All the countless other games and content that YouTube has to offer. In fact, we actually benefit from one another through the algorithm. A view for one caster doesn't mean a stolen view from another caster. On the contrary, if a user clicks on a Broodwar cast, their suggestions will be filled with related content from all kinds of channels in our community. And well, the more Broodwar content they interact with, the more YouTube will recommend it to them. Therefore, the more great and compelling Broodwar content there is available on the platform, the better chance we have of keeping our fans engaged. So then, it begs the question, what content is most compelling to viewers? Recent, pro-level games with high stakes and big, well-known names. Evident in the fact that ASL is the most viewed Broodwar content out there. If you, as a creator, manage to hit all four of these key requirements in a cast or a VOD, you're almost guaranteed to garner significantly more views. 2 to 3 is still pretty good. 1 or less is getting you nowhere. Because the fans, well, they just aren't interested. When I first started casting Broodwar, it was because I was disturbed by how few professional Broodwar tournaments were being cast in English, and I learned very quickly the reason why they still haven't been. Africa TV strikes down videos that show their content in part or as a whole, regardless of if it's an English cast, transformative though as it may be. After my ban, I was understandably labeled as untouchable. The times where other casters would communicate with me became fewer and farther between. I was told that in order to grow a channel, I would have to cast from replays only. When I asked how I could get good replays, I was always directed to teamliquid.net forums. I argued with some creators that these replays were old news and the community deserved better than rehashed games from 15 years ago, but that got little response. I wanted to find out what I needed to do in order to get my hands on some more up-to-date replays. Unfortunately, my pushing and questioning had the opposite effect. Now, I don't want to be all doom and gloom here. KCM responded to me and he gave me permission to cast his tournament in English. He seems to be one of the few people who understands that Broodwar creators are really not at odds with each other. I'm super grateful for the opportunity and grateful to Africa TV for tolerating my meager existence for now. But it was through him that I learned the true extent of how protective the community is over its replays. Africa TV keeps its tournament replays completely secret and only gives them to carefully vetted casters and under the strict rule that they be deleted after the cast is complete. This is done in the name of protecting players' strategies, which I fully respect. However, strategies and metas are always changing. If this is the only reason, why can't old replays be released? Now, I'm not so ego-inflated to think that I can get the mighty Africa TV to make any changes. The corporate overlords have made clear that, well, ignoring me is the company policy. But what about streamers and pro gamers who play thousands of ladder games? Surely there must be some gems in there worth casting and watching. But the cases where they release replays are few and far between. This inflexibility and dogmatic secrecy is what leads to so many of these replay casting channels releasing games played in the pre-ASL era. Nothing wrong with casting some OG games, but from these channels alone, you would think that Broodwar died 10 years ago. Here's a case study for you. Rabbit Roo has 300 subs and gets an average of 300 views a video. This man is grinding. 3 videos a week. He has been grinding for the past 6 months. A dedicated Broodwar fan, working hard on his channel. Big respect to this guy. His casting is actually really good. Much better than mine at 6 months. His most viewed video is an Artosis replay from 2012. An okay thumbnail and a catchy title with Artosis and Idra got him 11,000 views. This is a massive channel booster for a new caster. Now, imagine if Artosis released his current replays as a pack on Team Liquid. I'm sure there are tons of gems, content to be casted and enjoyed by everyone. I'm picking on Artosis, well, just because he's the biggest name in English StarCraft, but there are so many players and streamers who could do this. Small creators using recent games with big names could be garnering thousands more views and growing a large audience over time. New, fresh talent can continue to reinvigorate the scene and bring personalities and perspectives. It's just like the pro players scene. We need new faces and fresh players to keep things interesting. Yes, everybody loves the greats, the Bisus, the Zeros, but we need the royals of the casting world too. I'm really trying here, guys, and, well, this is probably not gonna make me very popular in the garden, but as a black sheep, I may be the only one who can point out these truths, and hopefully that changes something for the better. Right now, I'm just sick of trying to collab with other channels, only to have their owners ask, well, what's in it for me? I'm also tired of hearing creators argue with each other about who's stealing their views. I'm not interested in getting a spot in the walled garden. I just want people to stand on their merits, and I think that will produce the best outcome for the fans. Here's some more hard truths. The Broodwar community is small, but fans are incredibly loyal, supportive, and generous. People tune in to watch YouTube, live streams, tournaments, to cheer on their favorite players and casters. This game is 24 years old, and that means the audience is almost entirely 25 to 44-year-old intelligent nerds in America and Europe. The wealthiest demographic in the world, guys. I don't want to hear any complaints about how there's not enough money in Broodwar or fans don't give enough. If you give fans a value proposition, offer them something they will be happy to support. If you need guidance on this, go look at Tastosis and how they've monetized their content. They are nothing but thankful for what they receive from fans, and they provide great incentives for donating. Even, by far the most diabolical, ingenious idea I've ever seen, monetizing trolling. Guys, I want to end by saying, I'm not perfect. If you turn around and start accusing me of being jealous that one time or complaining about money, you missed the point of this video. We can all rise to a higher standard and strive towards becoming better and doing better for this community. This is not a hate video or meant to call out or accuse anyone of wrongdoing. I want to see our creators rise higher and do better to encourage new creators and foster their growth. We can all help each other and benefit from a better Broodwar community, whether you're a viewer, commentator, player, or just corporate overlord. Ultimately, my goal is the same as it's always been: more quality Broodwar content for fans like me to enjoy. I don't want to be a hypocrite, guys. To show that I'm interested in doing what's right, I'm going to shout out some more creators. I'm going to bring more of them on and try to collaborate with some of these smaller players in the Broodwar scene. Try to give them a boost as well, and I hope that everyone will do the same. Contact your favorite streamers and pro gamers and tell them to release their replays. If they're worried about losing their edge, just release everything older than 6 months. Well, guys, my name is Sayna C. If this video doesn't get me banned, then I'll see you in the next one.